only teaching Pilates on the mat, you're missing 80% of the method and 100% of the transformation. And that's not just a bold statement. That's backed by research, real outcomes, and years of experience in the Pilates studio. Now let's break this down into the 3 real risks of being mat-only Pilates teachers and why the full system being comprehensive is the real way to make transformations in your clients' bodies. If you don't know me, my name's Anita Horry. I'm second-generation Pilates teacher trainer and business coach for all those Pilates teachers who want to make the world a better place. I have been running Pilates studios for the past 2 decades, and I've seen transformations firsthand, but also train others who are already mat teachers and want to have better awareness on how to serve their clients and how to help them with the issues that they present with. Now let's keep it real. Mat Pilates is fantastic. Mat Pilates is something that Joseph Pilates ordered his clients to do at home. Mat Pilates is a system that can be taken everywhere. You could travel, you could be doing that online, you could be working with your clients anywhere, but it is not the be-all and end-all. And if you are teaching only the Mat Pilates system, you are really shortchanging yourself and especially shortchanging your clients. So what are the 3 biggest risks of being a mat-only Pilates teacher? The first one is that you're only teaching a part of the method. And just like being a mat-only teacher, reformer-only teachers are running through this risk. The method is a comprehensive system whereby every single piece of apparatus intertwines with another. So if you're only teaching a part of it, it's essentially like cutting hair with only 1 pair of scissors. Matwork is powerful. It strips everything back and shows us how a body moves in space unassisted. It reveals where there is instability. It also reveals where breath or sequencing breaks down. And it also reveals which muscles are actually dominating in the exercise and which are just going to sleep. But here's the risk. If your training only ends with just mat work, then you're only learning how to observe and not really how to correct. Why am I saying this? A 2014 randomized controlled trial shows that while both mat and equipment-based Pilates had similar results, at 6 weeks, only the equipment group sustained and improved outcomes at the 6-month mark, especially in pain reduction, disability, and fear of movement. That's what the equipment is designed to do. It helps you correct imbalances, realign the body, and work with precision through working with the springs, which is going to help control the movement, support the people who are weak. So those muscles who are compensating are going to get challenged because there's no tricking it. There's no tricking it through mat-only based exercises. The springs don't lie. They're going to show your clients where their weakness is. And then the most important thing is that the springs are going to restore efficient movement patterns. And then all these imbalances are going to disappear through time. So the long and short of it is that the mat work is going to show you the imbalances, but the equipment work is going to help you fix them for your clients. Now, before we go any deeper, if you're already liking the video and you're a Pilates teacher or maybe somebody who's really interested to take the Pilates teacher trainings, hit the like and also subscribe to the channel because there's so much information in this channel that's going to support you and help you throughout your career, throughout your journey. And of course, I would love you to share this video with other people who you think will benefit from watching it, because that's the only way that YouTube is going to identify that my videos are actually valuable to the community. The second risk of mat-only based Pilates is that you're not really training the body effectively. Again, this is backed by research, and this is something that I'm just saying. There are specific studies that confirm that mat-based exercises are not going to help the client with increasing specific resistance and load. So that's why using the springs in a way where we increase or decrease the load is going to really help find those balances that the clients need, help with coordination skills, create more strength and stability for the clients, and of course increase in the stamina. So all the equipment-based work is way more transformative than what mat-based Pilates is going to offer to your clients. Now, a 2020 study in the Clinical Interventions in Aging found that equipment-based Pilates improved balance, functional strength, and mobility far more effectively than mat-only training, particularly in older adults or clients recovering from injury. With equipment, you can easily provide support for better spinal articulation and shoulder stability. You can also build strength progressively, not excessively. You can also help to re-pattern movement safely and gradually. Without it, clients just might work around these dysfunctions. So they're reinforcing those bad habits that you are trying to avoid and you're trying to correct. And the third risk is really all about you as a Pilates teacher, about you as a professional in the work and in the system. You're really hitting a ceiling where you aren't able to progress further. If you're only teaching mat Pilates, you are really restricting yourselves from finding these tools, these essential tools that are going to help you become a better teacher and understand how the system can really help the clients with their imbalances, with their pathologies, and with improving the system to really aid and guide your clients to a better wellness. Through my 2 decades in the industry, what I've identified is that Matwork only teachers often reach a point where they are starting to improvise. And then what happens is that they're starting to make up themes. They are starting to repeat cues and they're using music or high repetitions to hold attention. That is not teaching with intention. That's actually teaching with limitation. Now, Shape Magazine and other outlets have highlighted client stories where people left mat-based only classes due to lack of progression or even worse, pain. Without tactile feedback and resistance, it's much harder to cue in real time. And I'll give you a personal story which happened to me only recently. I don't teach individual clients very often anymore because my focus is very much based on teaching teachers and helping teachers progress in their journey and in career. However, I do love to work with the odd private client and some group classes every so often. And I had a recent inquiry by an older lady who insisted that I would go to her house and I would work with her and give her Pilates sessions in her house. The lady was full of pathologies, had so many issues going on with her. She had been to doctors, she had been physical therapists, osteopaths, and nobody seems to have assisted her. I identified many imbalances, many postural issues, but then there were also pathological issues that I knew I wasn't going to be able to support if I had to teach her at home. I invited her to come to the studio and work on the Pilates equipment. And unfortunately, she wasn't that receptive to my suggestion of going into the studio. I tried to give her a fraction of what I would be able to give her in the studio. And it was much hard work for me and also frustration knowing that I'm going to lack that effectiveness that I would be able to give if I was teaching her in the studio. She did find a small transformation, but she did finally acknowledge that she had to come to the studio for me to be able to support her better. So if you don't have that awareness and if you don't have that knowledge, how could you possibly be able to assist a person like this lady that I'm talking about? Mat-only training narrows down your possibilities professionally. You're often excluded from doing many things, including working in a studio with apparatus or helping within clinical and rehabilitation opportunities. And I'm not saying that you're there to offer clinical Pilates or rehabilitation for your clients, because at the end of the day, we are not qualified to do so. But there are many Pilates exercises that are also offered in a studio environment that are going to help the rehabilitation process. And then the other big thing is that mat-only Pilates also restricts you from claiming higher prices for group and private work. The certification on its own for Pilates teacher training on equipment is way higher and includes much more work than just Matwork Pilates. And I understand that many teachers kind of shy away from the equipment Pilates teacher training because of the cost. But in the long run, you are really shooting yourself in the foot. So here's the deal. In my Pilates teacher training, we offer comprehensive certification programs where we integrate Matwork Pilates with the equipment, and we split the levels into a pre-Pilates and a beginner level, and then an intermediate level and advanced, meaning that the students are going to learn how to work on the Matwork and Reformer and Cadillac and Chair and all the barrels on their first level studying, so they can know how to integrate a piece of apparatus with another. If they identify that the client is really struggling through a pre-Pilates exercise, they might even be able to take them through to the equipment like the Cadillac, which offers support and stability in a closed chain environment where they will be able to support the client and help them improve in that method, in the exercise, and in their everyday life. Because at the end of the day, we are here to create transformations to be able to help the client to live a better life and have a better lifestyle. So in the teacher training, we focus on all this. We create a system where they're learning everything together and integrating all the different pieces of apparatus with the Matwork. In our comprehensive training, what we do with the Matwork is that we include it in the first part of the workout. So that would be the time where we as teachers learn to start reading the body in movement. We'll identify the imbalances that the clients are portraying during the mat part of the workout, so that later on during the session, we can then take them to a specific piece of apparatus that is going to help them improve the session, improve their work, and also remove the imbalances that they have within their body, or maybe even address the pain that they're coming to the studio with. So that is really what truly makes our approach very different. We learn to address the body in the first part. We learn to read the body in the first part. We identify the imbalances in the Matwork, and then we'll take the exercises in the different pieces of apparatus to be able to change that body and transform the client's experience of Pilates and address the imbalances. Now, you don't even get this if you had to do block work, meaning that you learn the mat first, then the Reformer, and then the Cadillac, and then the chair, etc., etc. You don't get that knowledge if you learn the different pieces of apparatus separately. You need to start understanding and integrating those pieces together and start building that awareness straight from day one, straight from the word go. You're there, you're learning how to become a Pilates teacher, and that's when you're starting to learn to read the body and identify which pieces are going to really support this client with this particular issue. That is what's going to create the transformation. Now, if you're really ready to start taking the leap and really becoming a comprehensive, fully fledged Pilates instructor, I'd love to welcome you to our next cohort. We've got next cohort registrations opening up in 2026. Oh, the doors are going to be opening in August 2025. And if you would like to join, I would love to speak to you privately. We'll have a conversation and identify whether the teacher training program is actually suitable for you. And if not, I will be able to refer you to other programs that perhaps fit your personal needs and your budget. I hope this information has been very helpful to you. If you did like the video, please hit the like and subscribe so that you get notified every time I post a video online. Until my next video, goodbye for now.